Okay, so hey y'all, hey, it's been the fattest motherfucking minute, I know. I'm gonna speed through this first part as best as I can because um I just recorded for 23 motherfucking minutes and my mic wasn't on. Fan fucking tastic. Thanks, Mercury retrograde. I really fucking appreciate it. I know I've been away for a while, but that's because I essentially needed to gather some of my own life experience. I hate that it fucking does that. I don't know why it does that. And while I've been away, I essentially had a spiritual awakening to where I entered 5D consciousness. I ascended into 5D consciousness. And meaning I am essentially fully aware of myself, mind, body, and soul. Fully aware. And my spirit has so much to tell you guys, so much to say, and it's all very exciting, all very beautiful and mystical, wonderful. So there were 4 different topics that I wanted to go over today. The first being the 6th part of the soul. And then I wanted to move into speaking on details of karmic contracts. The devil is God's ego, and Western versus Vedic astrology, depending on how long I'm speaking, depending on how long this recording ends up being. So, to jump right into it, I first encountered the idea of a 6th part of the soul through the tarot reader Queen Cup. She had mentioned there being like this 6 parts. And ever since she mentioned that, and I think I heard it like maybe a year or so, maybe a year and a half ago. And ever since she mentioned that, I've always questioned like what that is. Because most of us who are at least tapped into 4D consciousness, meaning you're tapped into intuition, at least some of the time, you know. As most of us are familiar with, there are 5 parts of the soul: the higher self, the inner child, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and the shadow self. There's also a 6th influence to the soul. This being this physical vessel, this body, this corporeal form that we are in. And I want to emphasize this because I want you to particularly take note of this for future episodes of this podcast. But all of these 6 parts of the human soul, they also correspond with the 6 parts of the human psyche. The vessel equals ego, the id equals shadow, the animus equals divine masculine, the anima equals divine feminine, the higher self equals superego, and the inner child is just still the inner child. But our vessels are an additional 6th influence on the human soul because our bodies are just animals that evolved, i.e., ascended to a high enough energetic vibration that they were able to contain and host light energy, i.e., the spirit, i.e., consciousness. Because these bodies that we are in, they're also just animals of the earth. The physical vessel is dark energy, and the spirit is light energy. And so it really is just reflective of the consistent union between masculine and feminine energy that can be seen and felt throughout all living things within the universe. Yeah, and I believe this is where I would like to transition into speaking on the details of karmic contracts, because I'm sure that you are familiar with karmic contracts if you are familiar with spiritual topics as a whole. I have been spiritually downloaded, and channeled some of the details of those contracts. One of them being an almost like an adoption, between the spirit adopting a vessel. And in these spiritual contracts, our spirit is contractually responsible for our vessel and for guiding it into a higher vibration, ultimately so as to raise the collective consciousness. But the vessel also is responsible for helping to carry out the purpose of the spirit, because in these contracts, the spirit has its own desires and goals and purpose, and so does this physical vessel. And they essentially sign this contract to be able to come together in union within this lifetime to create their own heaven on earth, to create their own best life together, to fulfill their purposes together. I'm more channeling right now for this one because I didn't really write anything down. I was writing for this one because I started like channeling, and I just wanted to like get it out on paper because I'm a bit more, I've been keen to these karmic contract details for a while now. Not so much the one I'm speaking of now, but the next one, yeah, I'm more familiar with. So yeah, one of the contracts is a union between the physical body and the spiritual body. A bit deeper into that, another one of the contracts is a bet. And it's a bet between God and the devil. Because in order for this spirit to be here on this earth, on this three-dimensional plane, it does have to make a deal with the devil, because the devil rules over the earth. In tarot, let me see, hold on. It is literally right there at the bottom. The devil is an earth energy, Capricorn to be specific, and that is because the energetic vibration of the devil is a dark feminine energy that supports the earth. The earth, it supports its being. And if you were wondering, like, whatever you thought hell was, this is hell. Like, not saying that sarcastically or ironically, earth is hell. When you think about, when you consider depictions within like film and literature of what hell is, it's usually something, a very repetitive moment. It's like trapped doing the same thing over and over again. And when you think about it, that's what reincarnation is, especially if you don't listen to that higher self, that light energy, and don't take any guidance from it. You're never really going to grow and ascend. And if you don't ascend, if you don't raise your energetic vibration, if the vessel doesn't raise its energetic vibration, neither does the spirit. And so the spirit has to keep coming back again and again and again, because the goal is to raise the energetic vibration of the vessel, and then so the spirit in each of individual so that it raises the collective consciousness, the energetic vibration of the collective consciousness, to that of God. Because God is not a being, and I believe I've said this before in different videos and different readings, but God is not a being. God is being in and of itself. God is not a thing or a person or a figure of any kind. God is an energy that is felt. It's something that has ascended to such a high vibration I just channeled something very interesting. This will be explored later in future episodes, but for the sake of documentation purposes and just making sure that I get this out, my throat is like really tickly right now, but as the universe comes into balance, God is being birthed. God cannot exist physically because there isn't a vessel strong enough to contain its energy. That was 100% channeled. That was my spirit talking. Yeah, that was my spirit talking to me. You know how like people also say like, oh, like sometimes spirit will speak through you and work through you. That is your higher self. Everybody has spirit. Everybody has a direct connection to spirit within them, and it rests within their hearts, within their intuition. That's how you tap into it. That's how you connect with it and communicate with it. So when someone says, oh, like spirit is speaking through you, it's you. It's still you. It's your spirit that is speaking through you. It's your cosmic wisdom that is coming out. It's your Akashic records that are peeking through your vessel. That's only if you opened up the energetic portal within your vessel, which is the heart space. Because when your heart space is open, you can process the energy vibration of love, and I figured out that the feeling of love is the intuition, like confirming itself. Like when you feel something is right in your intuition, that is the feeling of love running through you. And I figured that out because I had seen, how does the Bible define love? Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. And I noticed that, like, it's easy to ignore your intuition sometimes when, especially in cases of things where it's like, oh, you don't want that to be the case. Like, you feel like somebody might be, like, throwing shade at you or whatever, but your ego says, no, that's stupid. Why would they throw shade at me? Or why would they be jealous of me? Who am I to be jealous of? Then, like, da 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 da. And it says it in such a harsh way, and that's because the ego is also it's dark energy, and it's meant to keep you grounded to this earth. I'm like really channeling for this one. But then it's also hard to tap into your intuition if you don't know what love is. Because if you've ever felt love, like in your physical body, you know it. Because it's a very warm feeling in like the chest. Not hot, not like heartburn, not like painful, but warm and like inviting and comforting. That's the feeling that I get in my intuition. And that's how you pinpoint your intuition as well. And it's because your higher self is guiding you with love. It is lovingly guiding you. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. And that's another thing, like that's why it feels like love. It's because your intuition is always going to tell you the truth, even if it's not something you want to hear. And so it still feels like love in the physical vessel. Sorry if it looks weird that I'm like not looking. I'm channeling right now. And my vessel looks kind of absent right now, and it's because my spirit is speaking. It's my spirit that's activated and taking the lead right now. And spirit is such a strong and powerful energy that it's a lot for the physical vessel to take on. And so tapping into the higher self, tapping into this kind of energy does take a lot of energy out of the physical vessel, out of the physical body. And so I can't use my body as much when I am this focused in high vibrational energy in my spirit. And it's because my physical vessel isn't at this high of a vibration. If my physical vessel matched this exact vibration, it wouldn't be so see, look at this. I'm trying to find my words. It's quite a lot for my physical vessel. And yeah, one of the karmic contracts was a bet between God and the devil. And the bet was if basically the devil is betting that the vessel will succumb to its hedonistic desires and won't ascend, while God is betting that the vessel will ascend and will allow the higher self to take the lead as opposed to the shadow. Also, in this part, my spirit is wanting me to explain that continuing with the devil rules the earth, that, and why he's also called like the beast and everything, why he looks animalistic. Demonic energy rests in hedonism, and hedonism is a ceaseless pursuit of pleasure, irregardless of anyone or anything beyond the self. And one of the contract in this contract, this bet between God and the devil, the human vessel, in order to receive the gift of consciousness, is assigned a demon and a spirit. and a soul. Yeah, no, a spirit, yeah. A light energy and a dark energy. And if you are too much in the ego and you ignore the higher self, put on any more confirmation verbs, that's when the id takes over. And the id is a demon. It's that hold on. The id is the division of the psyche that is completely unconscious. This is where the drives and needs of a person come from. They are driven by instinct, and the psychic energy comes from here. Since it deals with basic instincts, yes, and which makes sense. It's the and why devil and demonic energy is considered to be so primal, and it's because you do need that instinct in order to even survive. The infant needs the instinct of the id in order to even cry out for its needs. If it doesn't have a sense of it needing anything, then it could easily go kind of like, it's like the id is like that basic need of like, it's that instinctual primal, okay, I need food. It's like you may not even consciously know what food is or the notion or idea of food, but you just have a primal, you know you need to eat. You know, like prior to like Homo sapiens, like Homo erectus and fucking Neanderthals and all shit like that, they weren't like hunting animals and picking plants because they're like, oh, I need food to sustain my body. They just did it because it's just natural. Like that's just, it's similar to how, you know, like when like baby like horses and deer and like giraffe are just born, and like within minutes to like a few hours they're up walking. It's because it's a survival instinct. In the wild, they need to get up and fucking walk because animals, other mammals and animals in the other kingdom don't have the luxury of being able to slowly develop in the safety of a community whilst also having your species be the top of the food chain and not really having to necessarily worry about being hunted as prey. And the id is that instinct for baby animals to get up and start walking is similar to our instinct for food, for water, for sleeping. Also, I'd like to say that science is apparently still unclear as to why we sleep, but the reason that we sleep is obviously to replenish energy. But it's weird because it's like science is like right there, but hasn't put two and two the fuck together yet. And it's because when we enter the sleep state, when we go to sleep, our vessel essentially shuts down, and it's the spirit that is running the show. And we already, I think it's rather common knowledge, at least in the sense of biology, that our bodies run on energy, and that energy dissipates throughout the day as we do things, right? Our spirit replenishes that energy while our body rests, and then that's why we're able to get up the next day and have replenished energy reserves. And that's because, again, it takes a lot of energy to host, for the vessel to host the spirit. But as we ascend and we raise the collective consciousness and raise our energetic vibration within our vessels as a collective, as a species, the Homo sapien will continue to evolve to where it can host. It doesn't take as much energy to host our spirits, and we won't have to sleep as long. But yeah, the devil rules over the earth, so that means the devil owns everything that's on this earth, including these physical vessels, because technically they are animals. We are Homo sapiens, a kind of primate that evolved high enough that it's able to host, that it's able to become a vessel for light energy. Sorry, I'm just channeling something about animals right now. But I don't think it's necessarily 100% consequential to what we have going on today. Okay, yeah, we're going to move forward into the next topic of discussion, and then we'll close that out for today, and we'll save the Western versus Vedic astrology for another day, another episode. 222 on the clock right now, and then it just hit 42:22 on the duration of the video. I am synchronized like a motherfucker. But anyways, also I'm just freely channeling. Like, I don't part of what I discovered in my ascension into 5D consciousness is I don't need these. These are just tools to help you learn how to tap into your intuition, and now I'm here. At this point, for me to use the cards would just be for theatrics. It would be more for as like visual confirmation for you, for those of you who struggle to tap into your intuition and still haven't tamed the shadow, or rather integrated the shadow, if you will. Shadow doesn't like thinking it's been tamed. But integrated as in, like, you're all part of the same team, you're working together towards the same goals. That is essentially what 5D consciousness is all part of the souls working together in unison, uniting to fulfill the human's goals, because the vessel itself is a Homo sapien. It's a primate. It's an animal. The spirit is an energy, but together, that's what creates human beings. Beings. It sounds like it's beings. That's what it creates human beings. That's what creates humanity. And that's why the star card looks like that. Aquarius energy, look at this. Aquarius is the water bearer. Humanity, humans, are a combination of water energy, 1 foot in water, 1 foot on land. This water energy is reflective of feminine energy. And cosmic energy. while the earth is reflective of the earth in physical, tangible energy. It's this union of physical and non-physical that creates humanity, human beings. But anyway, moving on. The next and last topic I want to go over today is that the devil is God's ego. And I may or may not have explained this before in previous readings, but the devil is God's ego. Again, the devil represents hedonism, a ceaseless pursuit of pleasure irregardless of anyone/thing beyond the self. When God casted the devil down to hell, earth is hell. You have to keep coming back here until you learn your lessons and you ascend. When God casted the devil down to hell, earth, damned by being bound to flesh, this was an act of disavowing his ego, his dark feminine energy. Also, okay, so in reality, especially by now, God is not a he necessarily, or even a she, or a they. God is an it, because God is an energy vibration, which I believe I just explained in this same video. God is an energy vibration, and God is feminine energy enveloped in masculine energy. God is an atom. I don't even know that off rip, but I do remember atoms being made of negative and like positive energy in like was it chemistry class? I think so. Yes, where we come from, where God comes from, it's the matter that's in space, black matter. And when it's said that we are made in the image of God, it's the image, it's physical, it's the physical manifestation of masculine and feminine energy. Oh gosh, there's so much to talk about, you guys. And God had to cast out his own ego because, but that's why we refer to God as a he, because we're only perceiving the outside, the surface, the masculine energy that protects and envelops the feminine energy within it. But additionally, you can tell that the devil represents God's ego, because before Lucifer was forsaken, he was an angel and he was God's favorite. He was literally God's pride. I'm trying to see if the devil was created before Earth. So, masculine and feminine energy together equals creation. But when God casted the devil out of heaven, he essentially, and casted out his ego, he essentially casted out his dark energy. All of his dark energy, which is feminine energy. Satan is dark feminine energy. And at that time, God became dark masculine energy. And this can be shown in the way that God was somewhat reckless in like the beginning. I'm not even super well versed with the Bible. I just know a few of like the essential beginning stories, and my spirit is channeling a lot off of that. when God did like that great flood or whatever, because dark masculine energy is distorted masculine energy, and it's boastful. It's all the things that it says love is not supposed to be, and that's because love, in and of itself, is union. And the when Satan was casted out, God became disjointed and was no longer in union with itself. And that's why we have been referring to him as him, because it's just been masculine energy, which is not a good thing. Neither of these energies on their own is good. Both of them, when solitary and imbalanced, can be very disruptive. So both the devil and God were at a low vibration, because there's the dark feminine and the divine feminine, and then there is the dark masculine and the divine masculine. We are on the way to raising both vibrations into divinity. And once both energies are in the the vibration of divinity, that is when union occurs, and that is when God will be whole again. The universe, life, existence, all of this, and reincarnation, all of this is God trying to make itself whole again. It's the universe balancing itself out. I've been recording for about an hour for this. Keep wanting to say this week, so I guess there'll be another one next week. I mean, there is a lot. There's a lot that my spirit needs to get off of its chest. Like, there's a lot that I need to, like, bleh. I feel like. But this is enough for now. These are, like, the beginnings. And please, like, if anything that I said, irregardless of what religious text you follow, whether that's Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, whatever, if any of what I said sounds similar to something that is referenced within those texts, please put them in the comments, because the only reason I'm referencing Christianity so much is because that's just what this vessel is most familiar with. I need to learn more about these other texts in order to convey to you how they are like in alignment and how they mirror each other, or something like that. Shit, I'm tired, y'all. And you contributing by directing me toward any resources is greatly appreciated, and it really does help. It's like you doing your part in helping to raise the collective vibration, because now you're actively also, engaged in the conversation of enlightenment. So yeah, this is fire. This was before I leave, when I started the series, I do believe that I started it because, like, I felt in my spirit that this is what I should be doing. I felt in my intuition that I should be explaining what I now understand to be cosmic order. But my vessel just wasn't ascended enough in order to comprehend the messages that were being delivered to me well enough to communicate them to you in an accurate way. And also, because I wasn't, like, fully in union with my spirit, my ego, or not my ego, my yeah, my ego was my ego was still influencing me to doubt my intuition, because originally I wanted to call this series Answering All of Everything, but in my ego I didn't feel like that was appropriate, because it was like, who am I to like, who the fuck am I, Sway? I ain't got all the answers, like, you know. And that's, you know, true. My vessel does not have all the answers, but my vessel has, but my soul does. My soul is very, very, very fucking old, like old as fuck, and has essentially mastered all of these levels of consciousness. And in this lifetime, I have reincarnated and chosen a vessel that has the unique abilities to identify and very accurately articulate my feelings, because my spirit communicates to me through feelings. Remember how I just said intuition is the feeling of love, but it's yeah, this series is meant to be called Answering All of Everything, and that is because it's more like my vessel poses questions, but not necessarily on camera. Like these, I have been deciphering and breaking down these messages for fucking weeks. But I usually get these answers by these. They start with a question, and then my spirit answers me. And here in this podcast, it's more of my spirit talking, and my spirit got the answers. But next episode, I will talk more about Western versus Vedic astrology and masculine and feminine energy and the energy vibration of love. And yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for watching and supporting. Pardonnez-moi. I hope you enjoy the series. Thank you for being patient. You know, I was gone for a while, and it's because I really needed it. I was being prepped for y'all, for me to actually sit here and do this podcast. That's it. Remember that you are loved, you are valuable, and that you are important. All right. Bye, y'all.